today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for inviting me out.
Absolutely. So I'd love if you could tell me a little bit about your session today.
Yeah, I just finished. It was a fun session. My background is I was a nuclear submarine captain, and so I was trained that leadership meant taking control and making it happen and giving good orders. And my story is I was sort of forced into this place where I had to give up control and figure out how to do that, and it was really, really powerful. And not only did we have this sort of short-term win, but we ended up creating more leaders in the long run. And so I think it's about creating these environments where people don't need to be told what to do. That's the greatest leadership of all. It's not giving great orders, it's not giving any orders at all. And the really cool thing is, in Canada, we have a great historical tradition of this, of risking by giving up control. And the historical example is that what happened in World War I. The Canadian forces were at Vimy Ridge, so this was just after Easter, 1917. The French had tried to take this hill from the Germans for 2 years and hadn't been able to. And the Canadians tried something different. They said, you know, if the lieutenant falls, follow the sergeant. If the sergeant falls, follow the corporal. The corporal falls, you lead yourself to the objective, which meant they had to tell every single soldier about the plan. It was very scary because in those days we didn't tell the soldiers what the plan was because we didn't want them to be captured and then have the Germans find out what the plan was. But they did that, and the result was in 3 days the Canadians took the objectives that the French army hadn't been able to do for 2 years. There were 10,000 casualties. There were almost 150,000 Canadians participated in this battle. The population of the country at the time was less than 15 million. So this represented over 1% of the population of the country. And it was really because of this innovation, this leadership innovation. So for me, it's really fun to come to Canada because we get to tap into that legacy of giving control. Most people are a little bit afraid when it comes about giving up control. And so so now, because that's what we practice with, we have little exercises that we can have you do. So if I thought you were a little bit of a control freak, what I'd say, Liz, is this. Next time you go out and have dinner at a restaurant, tell the waiter, hey, you get to pick. I don't even want to know what it is till it comes in front of me. That's scary, right? But so you're just giving up you're practicing what it feels like to give up a little bit of control.
And so can you talk a little bit about how maybe HR professionals would benefit from giving up control? Yeah,
so there's two things. One, as HR professionals run HR, they can give control to their people. I mean, this is just little steps like, hey, person comes to you, hey, what should I do here? Well, what do you think? I mean, just little steps like that. But the other thing that's really powerful about HR is HR writes the DNA for the culture of the organization. It's embedded in the policies that you have, who approves what at what level on a form, and or in email or in computer systems, what permissions do we have? Do we trust our people and give them permission to do things, or do we kind of hold it all back and only certain people at a certain level can do certain things? So to me, HR really is the key. The CEO can say whatever they want, right? But if HR doesn't have policies that support it, we call it push authority to information. Like most organizations push information, right? We all know the people at the front line have the information, and the people at the top have the authority. So what we do is we say, well, let's push the information to the authority. We can buy some computer systems that help us do that, and they'll make a decision, come back down. This is not what wins in the 21st century. Pushing the authority for making decisions down to the people who have the information. It's hard and scary, but HR is the one who actually does that. That's why I think HR is so powerful. And we tend not to appreciate our own power.
Thank you so much, David, for taking time to speak with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on your show.
So once again, this is Liz Foster at the HRPA Annual Conference and Trade Show. Thanks very much.